The government playing games with refugees. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.Media. So is the government playing games with our safety or games with the media? It's one or the other. And this is a serious question. Here at The Rebel, we've been at the forefront of the push to find out what's really happening with Syrian refugees. Well, the latest access to information response leaves us worried and with a lot of questions. We wanted to know about screening and instead found out, well, the government's trying to hide something from the public. What, we don't know. But first, a little background. We've been assured time and again that there's no need for concern on the refugee file when it comes to questions like security because the government takes this issue very seriously. That's what they tell us. In fact, early on, Ralph Goodale told us that very thing. Here he is at the end of November as the government ramped up their plans. Listen to his assurance.
If there is any doubt about an application or an interview or any of the data, the file will simply be put aside and held for further consideration at a later time.
Goodale wasn't alone in making statements like that. John McCallum, the immigration minister, the guy running the whole show, said the same thing.
If one of the officials doing the interview has any reason to question an individual case, well, that case will be put to the side and he or she will go on with other cases.
Okay, so what's the reality? Well, it's a little different because remember, along the way, we've been promised this government will be collecting biometric data on these refugees. They'll conduct extensive screenings. They'll ask tough questions. Naturally, that made us want to know more, so we submitted an access to information request. We asked about the questionnaire, and the response was shocking. We asked for, and I quote, a copy of the questionnaire used for interviews with potential Syrian refugees seeking to come to Canada. End quote. Simple request. We've been told the interviews are extensive, the collection of data, that those seeking to come here is thorough, and that the process is robust. So imagine our shock when we found out there is no such questionnaire. The reply from the Immigration Department said, following a thorough search of our information holdings, I regret to inform you that no records were found that respond to your request. Now, there has to be a form, a questionnaire, or something. We know this because we know how the government operates. We know they use standardized data entry fields. And we know this not only because of being around the federal government for so long, but because the top bureaucrats in the department told us so. Some of you will remember my questioning of Immigration Minister McCallum on why the government doesn't track ethnic and religious minorities fleeing persecution in Syria. You know, the people most likely to be killed by the likes of ISIS? McCallum's answer was weak, but what I couldn't show you, not the video anyway, was that in the background briefing by departmental officials, the one that we cannot broadcast but that we can quote from, one of the top officials in the immigration department told me that they simply cannot track religious or ethnic minorities fleeing persecution because their system has no place to put that information, meaning they use specific data entry fields. They use standardized forms. But then they tell us there isn't one. So what's going on here? Are they lying to us? Are they playing word games? Is it a form and not a questionnaire, and therefore they don't think they have to give it to us because we used the wrong word? Do they think they can get away with that? What are they trying to hide? One way or another, we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we will be appealing this ridiculous response to the Information Commissioner. Canadians deserve to know what's going on, how this highly political, insensitive file is being handled. If you like the work that we're doing on this file, consider making a donation, even a small one. We submit a lot of access to information requests across the country at the federal and the provincial level. We're looking out for you in ways that other guys will not. We're trying to dig up the information, but that costs us about $5,000 a month to keep the operation going. If you can support it in any way, we appreciate that. But you can also sign our petition at refugeepause.ca and add your voice to those who say the safety and security of Canadians must come first. The government is trying to hide something here. But one way or another, we will get to the bottom of this. We will find out the truth on what they are screening for, what they are asking, and we will find out what kind of games these officials are playing.